Okay guys, so just want to talk about today for the graphing the rational functions, because that's also part of the elements existing on the chapter 3 tests. So just want to go over that today. Okay, so the previous video that I put up, it's the sample question for the chapter 3 tests. So make sure that you guys just watch that video as much as possible. And here's another one. So basically this one is the exact same template for the notes that we went through, but in case that you're kind of confused regarding the notes. Okay, so here's one of the problems, the way to find the VA. So we set the denominator equal to 0, and then for HA it's case 2 because that's the same degree top and the bottom. So we took out the leading coefficients, so we got 3/2. And then once you find out the VA, HA, excuse me, so you end up with this VA and then HA. So what else can we find to help us graph the function? You can get points such as y-intercept. So by setting x equals 0, so we got -1 over -2, which is 1/2. So 0, 1/2. And also we can find the x-intercept by setting y equals 0. So set the numerator equal to 0 and then solve for x. Factor it, and then you got -1/3, 1. -1/3 and 1. Okay, so -1/3, 0, 1, 0. So once you get all the points, so just plot them. But the thing is that it's not good enough because we don't know what happened on this region here. So you can just put it in XY table. So let's say like -3, so you'll get a point here somewhere. So once you get a dot, so you just want to connect it. Again, the VA, HA, what does that tell you? It shows the boundary of the curve. So here's what we got: increasing curve, and then the increasing kind of like a cubic curve here, and then the increasing curve right here. So after all that, so you might be wondering, well, how did I do this so fast? How can I get it done so efficiently? So here's what you need to follow through. Anytime that you want to sketch the graph of the rational function, you want to factor it first, top and the bottom, and then find the xy intercept if that's possible. Find VA if that's possible. Find HA if that exists, and also try to get the XY table, get some point, and then sketch the graph. So here's one of the problem. So this one is case 2 because that's the same degree top and bottom, so that means HA is going to be the leading coefficient. But let's just follow through what we just went over, the steps. So first step, you want to factor it. So factor top and bottom, so you got this. So not quite sure about the way to factor, you can always watch the previous video, the way that I use the smiley face or the double cross method. And then find the xy intercept. So you end up with 0, 2. X-intercept, you end up with 1/2, 0, -4, 0. So once you get all this, you want to find VA. So the way to find VA, you want to set the denominator equal to 0. Because anytime the denominator equals 0, the whole thing is undefined. So we got 1, 0, well 1, which is the VA, the dotted line, -2, another dotted line. Do not worry about the end behavior. Okay, so this one is optional steps. Just find out, the point that's going to, whether that's -infinity, positive infinity, things like that. So don't worry about this 2 slide here. Okay, so we'll just skip that. Again, find out the sign change. No need to worry about this. Do not worry about this again. Okay, so let's see. Again, that's just the end behavior near the vertical asymptotes. Okay, don't worry about that. Again, HA is just the leading coefficients. And also, you don't need to go through all this process. So just take out the highest power, top and the bottom. So 2x squared over 1x squared, so you got 2 over 1. Again, the rest of those terms, x goes to infinity, it's going to be going to 0. So we got 2. And now, if you just plot the point, the VA, so it's going to be the graph like this. So one is considered decreasing, the other one is also decreasing curve, and the third part of the graph here, it's also decreasing. And now what about the slant asymptote? The way to find the slant asymptote, we can use either the synthetic division or the long division. So for the previous video, we talked about the difference of the long division and the synthetic division. So the divisor, it's a linear binomial, so this one we can use the synthetic division or the long division. So this PowerPoint here, I actually used the long division. So once you divide it, you end up with the quotient x plus 3. Remainder, do not worry about the remainder because x goes to infinity. The denominator goes to infinity. So 3 over infinity, that's getting close to 0, so it's only the quotient. So that means y equals x plus 3 would be the slant asymptote. Okay, so make sure that you guys watch the latest video, the one that I put out for the sample questions for chapter 3 tests, and also the one that I put out for this one, graphing rational functions, finding slant asymptotes. Okay, so you can just put in any comment, and also please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching the video today.